What's going on, YouTube world? Welcome back to a Little Bit Mad Gaming, bringing you some more Smackdown review. It's a late video. Been meaning to upload it, just haven't gotten around to it. Have been busy, have learning, taking little classes here and there about YouTube, learning the ins and outs. As you will see, progress. What I mean by progress, you will see what I mean at the end of the video, and how I do things now. How the outro will be anyway. But first things first, you can hit that like, subscribe, share, and the notification button, and leave a comment down below what you like or didn't like about this past Friday Night Smackdown. We got to go to 100 subscribers, so those who are not subscribed, subscribe, like, and share. Those who are subscribed, appreciate you, love you. Just keep doing what you're doing. Just like and share, share, share. With that being said, let's get into it, because I got a lot of videos dropping today. Because I got this video. I got my WandaVision video that I still got to drop too. And then I think I'm going to do a review on Coming to America. But that's all in the next videos. Let's get into this. So, we start off with Smackdown with Daniel Bryan doing the promo. This is somewhat similar to last week, but with Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan coming out. But Daniel Bryan cuts a very passionate promo about how, which I like too. He actually told how he's been putting over other talent, putting himself on the back burner. So it's kind of like a shoot slash good kayfabe promo, because he actually mentions how he was putting people over. Instead of keeping himself at the forefront, he wanted to put the future of the business over. But then he got mad because of what happened at the Elimination Chamber. He felt passionate about the fact that at the Elimination Chamber, he won the Elimination Chamber for the third time, only for Roman Reigns to come out immediately after the Elimination Chamber match, not giving him enough time to recover or anything, and basically beat him in like 2 minutes. And he said when Edge came out and speared Roman and pointed at the WrestleMania side and choosing Roman as his WrestleMania opponent, it was he said he felt like a failure. Like he failed himself because of the fact that he was putting people on the back burner, putting himself on the back burner and putting people over, and it didn't feel like he was him. He felt like he knew, not just felt, but he knew he could be better, and that he basically said he's gonna win the steel cage match tonight against Jey Uso and go on to beat Roman Reigns at Fastlane, because he says the WrestleMania match between Edge and Roman at WrestleMania is not set in stone. And then we get Roman during the middle of Dan Bryan's promo. Roman Reigns along with Jey Uso and Paul Heyman comes out because I guess Roman took exception to the fact that I forgot to mention too, during the promo, he said he like he usually do, he talked about how he loved the business, how he loved wrestling and stuff, because he took a personality test, and the personality test, I guess that the wrestlers get these personality tests, but he said when he got his was like the worst, lowest ranking personality test that they ever seen. And yet they want to know how he's so successful. And he said it's because he loves this business. He loves wrestling. He loves doing what he's doing. And he plans on being the best again, because he might not have another opportunity. And then that's where Roman Reigns came out, was taunting him, saying that he said, you don't love this business. You need this business. He said that's the difference between me and you. Roman was saying that, I love the business because I don't need WWE. I don't need this business. The business needs me. The cameraman needs me. Jay needs me. Paul needs me. The people in the back needs me. He said, "You need me." He said that once he gets beaten by Jay later on tonight, he will acknowledge him and tell him that and say that he's his tribal chief and need him and stuff like that. And Daniel Bryan a clap back saying that he basically the best, that he will beat Jay, and he will go on to beat him at Fastlane. But then he was interrupted by Jay Uso, who told Daniel Bryan that that this is as close as he's going to get to the Universal Championship, and that he will beat him later on tonight, and that you better watch what he said, because now I got to get you. And he tried another sneak attack. He tried a sneak attack again, like he did last week, but Daniel Bryan was ready for it. Caught Jay and threw him on the outside of the ring, and basically stared down Roman Reigns acknowledged that Daniel Bryan was on his toes this week, and then that ended the promo. And then we would have the first match of the night would be Montez Ford versus King Corbin. It was, I guess, originally it was like a little promo, like just a little mini promo before it, where Sami Zayn came out, and I guess it was he was under the impression that it was going to be a tag team match with him and King Corbin versus the Street Profits. But King Corbin said, came out and interrupted Sami, and Sami did a bad mouthing promo and told Sami that he had enough of his mouth, and that he is not a tag team competitor. He don't want to be a tag team in a tag team match with Sami Zayn. King Corbin said that he's a singles competitor, and that's what he's going to be. So if any one of the Street Profits want to have a singles match, and he's all good for it. And Sami started complaining, so he wasn't prepared for this. This is what was supposed to happen, feeding more into his conspiracy theory, which ended up turning to be, like I said, Montez Ford versus King Corbin, which was a good back and forth. It was a good back and forth match. Once again, the camera crew would actually get involved. It was strangely, like, I usually wouldn't care for these two matches, but it was actually oddly entertaining. For the first time, I actually was kind of sort of entertained by this. But Montez Ford would end up getting screwed over because of Sami Zayn's camera crew, which would allow King Corbin to pick up the win. So, and then immediately, right after the match, we go into the next match, which would be Angelo Dawkins versus Sami Zayn. And Sami, right before the match, he still was complaining that he wasn't prepared for this, because he was only prepared for a tag team match and not a singles match. But he went through with it anyway, and But he asked King Corbin for advice and for telling him, saying, I kind of helped you, me and my camera, you kind of distracted, kind of gave you the help right there to get the win, basically do the same for me. And at first, it looked like King Corbin was obliging to it. He was going to do it until Dawkins knocked Sami off the apron onto King Corbin, which King Corbin took heat with. He didn't like that, so he told Sami, what, you on your own. Because after a little back and forth, he was trying to explain that it wasn't his fault. He was, Angelo pushed him off into him, but he didn't care, and told him, what, you on your own. Good luck. So now Sami, it was a good back and forth between Sami and Angelo Dawkins, with Angelo Dawkins taking the victory after a little bit of payback with Montez Ford, using the distraction of the camera crew, messing with the camera crew to distract Sami, and allowing Montez Ford, but Angelo Dawkins to pick up the victory. We did get a match with Dominic Mysterio versus Chad Gable, and it was a good match. It was a good solid singles match with Dominic Mysterio. Had I wished, was it a little bit more, like could have been done just to make it a little bit better match? I believe so. But overall, for the young up and coming Dominic Mysterio, who gets to tag team with his father and wrestle with his father, that gotta be a dream come true. So in the end, it was a decent. He got the pin on Chad Gable with a roll up, and Rey Mysterio would attack Otis, But yeah, this pretty much solidified that Otis is a heel. Um, we would get a we will get a backstage promo with Seth Rollins. You know, discussing Cesaro and what happened last week with him and Cesaro, and surprisingly we get Buddy Murphy back, or I guess they just call him Murphy now. And apparently, after everything we just went through with the whole storyline and Murphy and all that, Murphy wants to get back in the good graces of Seth Rollins. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing with Murphy, and that made this whole segment just weird. Like it came out of left field. Why is Buddy Murphy trying to get back in the good graces of Sami Zayn? It's like it was confusing me, but yeah, that would lead into Murphy versus Cesaro. And you will have Cesaro obviously picking up the victory over Murphy. That was probably like the only thing I liked about the match was it was Murphy. They had Seth at ringside, but it was like Murphy. Basically, everything was like confusing to me. So it's like I just was like, what are they doing? But yeah, Cesaro beat Murphy. We get a backstage promo with Carmella and Reginald. Reginald would get Carmella would fire Reginald for I guess for his little infatuation with Sasha Banks, but he was trying to explain to her that he was doing it for her, but she wasn't hearing it, and she fired Reginald, which Reginald tried to go talk to Sasha, and the others, but that's a little bit later on tonight. We would get a match with we'll get a match with Bianca Belair and versus Sonya Blazer, and they also ran a little promo showing what she did to Asuka while Asuka is out currently on injury. Yeah, it was a good back and forth. But Reginald would come out because but Sasha came out to almost scout Bianca Belair. And Reginald would come out and be like their little cheerleader, but he would end up causing Bianca the match, and I think with Sonya taking the pin, or I think she lost the match. I'm not particularly too sure. Hold on, I'm going off the top of my head, but I'm about to skim back in my notes just to make sure if I was correct on who won the match. No, oh yeah, I wasn't correct. I found my notes. I found where I had put it. I'm going everywhere. I wasn't really going in order, but yeah, it was Bianca Belair who picked up the victory. But it was, but she didn't like the fact that they have a match. I guess at Fastlane is going to be Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks versus Sonya Blazer and Nia Jax for the women's tag team titles, and but Bianca didn't take exception to the fact that Reginald was out there and it could almost potentially cost him the match. So she told Sasha she better handle it, she better fix it, because this is not good. We cannot have this distraction again come time for the match. So Sasha, just like Carmella earlier in the night, she smacked Reginald and told Reginald that to stay out of her business and stay away from her, basically. And then he tried to explain himself in a backstage promo, but she still told him no, slammed the door in the face. And then he would end up seeing Reginald, seeing Sonya Blazer, Nia Jackson, and in the back setting. I guess they tried to set up something because Nia Jax was Sonya was getting in his face like she wanted to fight him, but Nia stopped her and said, "You know what? You're kind of cute," and walked away. And Sonya looked in confusing. So now they try to set up some type of thing with Nia Jax and Reginald, I guess. Um, let's see what else. What else did we have on the docket? Talked about Chad Gable, Cesaro versus Murphy. Um, Apollo Crews cut a promo basically about him being this is who he is. This is the real Apollo Crews, and that this is what I guess people kept saying he was like they don't like the new Apollo, but he said this is the true Apollo. The Apollo that you like wasn't the real Apollo, but this is the true Apollo, and he demands when Biggie gets cleared in the Continental Championship match. And you know what? I like the promo because it was like it's a new direction for Apollo. I'm actually kind of digging this new Apollo. Um, let's see what we got. We got Bailey. She was doing like a little ding dong, her little ding dong hello show, and she was doing what I guess what she would call sweet tweets. But I think that if something went wrong, I kind of didn't pay attention to it. But it looked like something went wrong with the tweets. It looked like it wasn't really so sweet, and she got mad and left because I think most of the tweets was like bashing her or whatnot. Um, let's see, was there anything else that I missed? No. Then we would get the steel cage match, which was oddly had Corey Graves in the ring explaining the steel cage match and how what the brutality of it and how you were supposed to win, which is what I say is oddly weird because why. I think by now everybody knows how the steel cage match works and how to win the steel cage match. I mean, by now everybody knows you could win the steel cage by either climbing out the ring, going through the steel cage door, climbing out of the cage, or getting a pinfall or submission in the cage. But other than that little weird moment, the Dan Bryan versus Jey Uso match was actually an amazing match. It was worthy of the main event for tonight. And I forgot leading into this, we also had a backstage promo with Roman Reigns explaining to Jey Uso that we all know that if he wins, I don't have to defend the championship until WrestleMania. But if he loses, he okay with that. That's fine. He got to defend that at Fastlane. But he warned him about losing. Is that losing will make him and the family look bad. So he told him not to lose because they don't need to be looking bad because he lost and couldn't defeat Daniel Bryan, especially since he's main event Uso, right? So then that would lead into the pressures of the match with Dan Bryan and the cage match, which, like I said, was an amazing match. It was main event worthy. There are a lot of back and forths. At times it looked like Jay could have possibly won the match. At times it looked like Dan Bryan could have won the match. They went back and forth. Both men battered, and beaten, and bruised. Roman Reigns ended up coming out and sitting down in the chair in front in the entrance walkway area to watch the match himself. But in the end, Jay would get submitted by Daniel Bryan, with Daniel Bryan using the yes lock, confirming that instead of the tag team match between him and Ed, with Daniel Bryan and Edge versus Jay and Roman, it would now be Daniel Bryan versus Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship, with the implications that if Daniel Bryan wins the Universal Championship, then the main event of WrestleMania won't be Roman versus Edge. It will be Daniel Bryan versus Edge for the Universal Championship, which I could see them, in order to protect Roman Reigns. I could see them, like, if not him losing at Fastlane, I could see them adding Daniel Bryan to the match. They're making a triple threat match just to protect Roman by having Daniel Bryan take the pin. Therefore, in that way it protects Roman, it protects Edge, and Daniel Bryan is and Daniel Bryan takes the fall because Roman doesn't lose the momentum he's gained by being this heel Roman, Edge still gets the win, but he don't get the pin Roman. But yeah, with all that being said, I would give SmackDown a solid 8 big ups, just because it wasn't a bad show. It was a decent show. I was fairly entertained throughout. It was a slight hiccups here and there, but like I think the only hiccups I took like noticeable that took the score down was it originally would have been the Angelo Dawkins and the tag team match, but it was actually good to see some type of little mix up with that. So I gave that a pass. I did take a session with the whole out of nowhere Buddy Murphy now wanting to be in Seth Rollins' good graces after everything we went through now with that whole storyline and how long it went. Now you got Buddy wanting to now work again for Seth Rollins. The whole I don't know where they was going with that, but I had to take a point off before that. I think that was it. I think I took 2 points off just for that. Just the Cesaro match itself. No, you know what? It not only that promo. Not only that promo, it was the Cesaro versus Murphy match I took exception with, because it like, though it was an impressive outing for Cesaro to keep Cesaro's momentum going, it was the randomness and out of nowhereness of the match itself hurt the match more than I could enjoy it, because by the time the match started, I'm still confused why he wanted to get in good graces with Seth Rollins. So yeah, it's like I took 2 points off of that, because otherwise it could have been almost a perfect 10. Like I wouldn't say it was a perfect 10 episode, but it would have been close to a perfect 10. I probably originally gave it a 9.5, but yeah, other than that, everything else was good. I enjoyed the Dominic Mysterio. I enjoyed Bianca Belair. I enjoyed the whole Carmella and some Reginald thing. The Dawkins and Angelo's matches, the promos at the beginning. The only thing I didn't... Oh, and then the Bayley thing was kind of underwhelming. I didn't really know where they were trying to go with that, but that was another reason why I took a point off. But yeah, that's all I got. That's it. And where I meant by progress, this is progress now. So, and it'll be a little right here. Click that tab if you want to see more reviews for wrestling. That tab will be for all my wrestling reviews. This tab right here would be for if you just want to subscribe. This is the subscribe tab right here. Hit that picture right there of my little logo, and you'll be subscribed to my channel. Hit that tab for my reviews, and click on the videos for more good videos that I have going on my channel. And to the next one, peace.